We're live.
Good evening, everybody. It is Draft Friday. What's today? Friday? What a long week it's been here. It's Friday night. That's Hail State you here. I'm Brinkerhoff17. Welcome to CFB on the GTR channel. It's Dynasty season number 7. I got it this time.
Number 7.
And it is second round quarterfinal playoff action. We have Oklahoma State, who was the 9th ranked in the CFB playoffs this season, going against Georgia Southern and Coach Sauce. That's Coach Kevin, and then Coach
Sauce, I think you meant to say. Before your mic cut out, I don't think that he meant to do that. But yeah, life's good right now. If you are paying attention to everything going around in the sports world, we are in the round of 8 here in the CFB league. Shedeur Sanders still hasn't been drafted, and LeBron James just missed a wide open 3-pointer. So everything is going according to plan right now, and we got some football here to play. As yes, we do have Brinkerhoff back.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, we are getting ready. Quarterfinal action. It's going to be a good game. I mean, they played before this season, or maybe it was last season, but it was look, it went very much in the Georgia Southern favor. But that was at Georgia Southern's home turf, you know, and playing on the road, especially against a top 5 ranked team, is always going to be one of your toughest battles in CFB. Here it's a neutral site. We're in Dallas, I think the Cotton Bowl, or no, we're in Louisiana, New Orleans, Caesars Casino Superdome. Hail State, you happen to be down in the southeast. You're real close to home here.
Yeah. I'm playing in the new home of Tyler Suck and the New Orleans Saints. Just a joke of franchise, really, but you know that's personal opinion.
Well, we have a good battle here with 2 competent football teams, and we can be excited to be in the Sugar Bowl. All right, kickoff. We're going to have a return by Oklahoma State. Georgia Southern will get it back at the half, but they're going to kick off here. 5-minute quarters. And we just want to say welcome back to GTR PD one more time, as he lost his playoff matchup, but we're glad to have him back and get ready for next season. Commissioner Beaton back in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, Lee.
We'll see what Oklahoma State comes out in here. The team that ended their run in the semifinals last year, also Georgia Southern has a long history of just dog-walking Big 12 teams in the playoff. So, as a Big 12 member, I hope that streak ends. I hope we do get a competitive game here today.
Fuller's going to hand off on the fake sweep and run down to the backfield. 3-yard loss.
Damon Cheek not letting that one go nowhere.
Yeah, he came right through. That's a big boy, too. That's not someone I want to see in the first play of the game. That is a man.
Yeah, he has a shot at getting drafted tomorrow, too, because, I mean, there's so many tackles going, right?
I think he's already been drafted, actually. He's probably not even allowed to play in this game.
Well, you know Georgia Southern's not the type to take roster regulations very seriously, right?
Fuller back in the shotgun, back to his left. He's going to take the handoff and met again in the middle. 2-yard loss on the carry. So Georgia Southern's showing a lot of strength here in the middle of the football field.
Yeah, I think the RPO game is going to not be a viable option today for the Cowboys. Just a guess, though.
Lots of good recruiting getting those big boys up front here for the Unions. Now we're in 5, split set, nobody in the backfield, and Fuller's going to scramble out to the right, look to his right. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to run out of bounds. It's going to be 4th and 12. Did gain a couple of yards, but we're still netted negative 2 yards on the drive.
And not the start that Oklahoma State wanted.
Still better than Shedeur Sanders' night so far.
Yeah, it is.
Too early.
No.
I meant too early in the broadcast.
No, we're definitely going to... We've made that joke already, and we're probably going to make it 2 or 3 more times before this broadcast ends.
So if you're watching this later, we are recording this immediately after the 3rd round of the NFL draft has ended here. And everyone's shocked. Just shocked, I tell you. There's a handoff up the middle. Oklahoma State showing some strength here. Gives up 1 yard on the carry. Big hill on the big hit.
That running back was shocked. That linebacker kind of came out of nowhere to make that play.
Pretty good field position they're starting with here now on their own 41.
Yeah, and I feel like Georgia Southern's in control now, knowing that they do get the ball back to start the second half. If they score here, they take utter control as we see some motion in the backfield by McIntyre. I wonder if he's related to Drew. So we get a stretch. Oh my goodness.
Lots of blocking.
Gracious. I don't know who that tackle is wearing number 42. He should be first overall in next year's draft.
Well, a first down run there brings him to the 46 on the other side of the 50. And Georgia Southern will start off with a fresh set of downs.
Here comes the Wildcat. Ambrose is in the backfield.
Yeah, not a name I've seen before personally, but maybe he's been playing a couple of weeks.
There's a lot of WWE.
Oklahoma State was not going to get fooled by that.
A lot of WWE influence in these names.
They bring them down fast for a 5-yard loss.
Tell you what, these professional wrestling families produce very athletic children. We have a couple of kids from the Hawaii family, the Rock and Roman Reigns family tree. A couple of their relatives on our team.
The slat out to the right, and he's going to cut up the middle and get enough for the first down. We got a flag on the play. I don't know if I saw a face mask in there. No, it was a holding on the offense.
Yeah, we see. 2nd and 22. Yeah, our starting fullback is actually from that family tree, and the saying goes, you never headbutt a Samoan, and a couple of kids have learned that the hard way in practice this year.
Cherry with the empty backfield here. 5 wide receivers out wide. 2:13 left in the first. He moves a little to the left. He's getting chased down. He doesn't make a decision. He's brought down for a huge loss. 3rd and 35.
Okay. You have to get a stop here if you are Oklahoma State. There's no way you can even allow Georgia Southern to even think about going forward on 4th down here.
Yeah. Coverage down the field. That is the definition of a coverage sack right there. Some good play by the Cowboys defense. Not a sentence I love to say out loud. Big man deep, and he got 2 guys in now. Oklahoma State's going to knock it down. No chance at that for, is that Ambrose down the field trying to catch that?
Yeah, probably a smart job to knock that one down. As we see the Georgia Southern punt team coming out, which is something we rarely see.
Football leaves the foot.
Didn't even know that Georgia Southern had a punter on their roster.
Yeah, former guard, by the way. They don't have a punter on their roster.
Well, that was a pretty decent punt for a converted guard.
Yeah. Might also be the long snapper, I'm not too sure. Well, the Cowboys now have a shot here. Really good field position for them. They're on their own 43, but, you know, a couple of first downs, they're right in the red zone and threatening to score. Pistol formation, man in motion. There goes the jet sweep. He tried to cut up the middle, but he got stopped, but he was able to get to the edge. Got 3 yards, made something out of almost nothing.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, if you're Oklahoma State, you're not going to be able to get too cute with your play calling here. You got to go with the simple stuff, the quick throws, the inside runs, the pitches. You got to find something that works.
Yeah, you know, speaking of pitchers, you got to, like a pitcher with a hitter, you got to set them up. You got to run some plays, run the same formation a little bit, back and forth. You got to make sure this defense is thinking about what they're doing and not gearing in on what they know you're doing. There's a direct snap. There's a first down for the Cowboys halfback, number 34. Barrios. Out of Texas. He's a junior.
Well, we do know that the Spanish have produced some really good running backs. You think back to El Blanco, his days as a Georgia Southern Eagle.
That wasn't his name.
A lot of
that was.
Well, yes, but that was his mantra. Yeah. But the Spanish have produced some really good players in the recent years.
Another quick handoff to the left, only a yard there on the carry for Texas product.
Yeah, Enrique gets into it with his lineman right there. That's frustrating.
Offense getting set. It's 2nd down.
Oklahoma now in the shotgun again. 5 linemen down for the Eagles. We got a screen pass out to the left. Dallas on the 3rd play in a row here. Gets the reception. Brings up 3rd and 4 now.
Yeah, that's not a bad play, but gotta find something to get these 4 yards here.
You know, I don't want to say they have to get downfield. I mean, it's 3rd down. They kind of have to pick and choose what they might be doing here. But I think at some point they really got to test them downfield. They have the 2 receivers. They got that transfer from UTSA this offseason. And there's a 1st down, a nice safety catch. Matt Fuller, 3 for 3.
Yeah, Georgia Southern had a lot of guys in the area, but none of them were actually on the receiver. And that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter with the score 0-0. I'd be hard-pressed to find a man who would have bet it would be 0-0 after the 1st quarter.
Lots of surprises tonight.
Lots of surprises, yeah.
It's a night of surprises. We had a fight with the Devils and the Canadians on the bench with a referee. I mean, things are just going haywire today.
We did. Dylan Gabriel getting picked by the Cleveland Browns.
Cats and dogs
we had,
living together. It's mass hysteria.
Yeah. We have the Lakers trailing in Game 3 right now.
Yard for Bilos, 5.
Although that's not really a surprise.
Another run on 1st down. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but at some point, where are you going to test the Eagles' defense? Where are you going to throw something they may not be expecting? That's the only question I would have. But I also throw a lot of interceptions. So.
I think that's your best bet here because you look at the Eagles' defensive line. Just look how humongous they look compared to the Cowboys' O-line.
And always moving just before the snap.
Looking to pass here on 2nd down.
Fuller now looks, and now he runs out to the left. Does he have a man to throw? He tries to throw it away. He gets it out of bounds. Saves it for another play.
Yeah, Georgia Southern likes to run 4 down linemen and then put 1 up as a spy and just rush 3. And it works more oftentimes than not.
Yeah, for real. Like, just keep trying it. Like, I see what he's doing there, and it's going to work eventually. I think I see what he's doing. I think also part of that is you're running a right-hander out to the left, and if you're not, if you get turned around, it's going out.
It's Fuller.
Remember, he used to have, or UTSA had the left quarterback. 1st down, Oklahoma, another reception at 83. I'm still trying to get his name.
A big play there. Fortunate to have that crossing route come open. The flare on that to the running back was open as well.
There's another. He had a man I saw out to the rub, and and he fumbles inside the 10. Oklahoma does come up with it. What a dangerous play that ended up being.
Oof.
I feel like it's inside the 5 when they fumble the most.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that just make the butt cheeks clench, if you will.
Another direct
for the
snap.
Oklahoma State
Balos
Cowboys.
tries to get to the edge. He'll get tackled for the 1st, but not quite into the goal line.
Helmet knocked down the pylon. He was awfully close to getting in the end zone there.
Oh, I might want to challenge that.
That was pretty close. And I think if they ain't able to push this in, they might regret the decision to not challenge that.
Yeah. I missed the 1st half. It's 1 timeout. We are in the Oklahoma or Maryland set. So it's touchdown, though. Matt Fuller does get it in that time. 2nd QB sneak attempt. Across the goal line. And Oklahoma State's going to go up first, 6-0.
Yeah. Big momentum there for the Cowboys. The Eagles need to respond here, but like I said, they still have that fact that they get the ball back the 2nd half too in their back pocket, so they can try to double down here and flip this game on its head.
You know, it should be noted, Oklahoma State had a good team last season, but this is clearly the best version of the Cowboys we've seen on the field. And, coming in here with the 2 losses, they could have easily been undefeated in either of those 2 losses.
Yeah, I think this is a point proven that that the Eagles aren't that much better than them. Some people will point to their result earlier in the year, but on a neutral site, Oklahoma State coming out and hitting them in the mouth here. Georgia Southern gonna go hurry up.
Defense still solid. They got that fast corner, but they had 2 incredible receivers that they actually haven't really unleashed yet tonight.
Oh.
There's a deep pass talking about unleashed, and it's caught. 17. Georgia Southern ties it up. McIntyre. Buster Cherry. 2nd attempt goes 71 yards from the score.
just the things that are inevitable when you're playing I'm just about to call them Golden Eagles. I know that we don't like that. The Eagles, just stuff that always seems to happen. Someone blows coverage, and then you've got a wild wrestler running down the field for 7. But not the worst thing in the world. 2:56 here. You get the ball back. If you can put a methodic drive together, you can limit this. You could keep the Eagles offense off the field for the rest of the half.
Yeah, you just had a long drive against the Eagles defense, and now you're bringing it back out after just a couple of plays, so they're winded. They're going to be getting tired.
Yeah,
so,
but then
they are
again,
deep. Let's not,
your guys are as well.
They are deep in Georgia Southern's roster, but still, these are the guys you have out there, and their legs are getting warm.
Yeah.
Fuller looks, throws quick,
out.
but a little
he missed him.
on the out. Man, 4 for 6 now.
Throws that need to hit. You have to check all of the boxes to beat I'm about to call them the Golden Eagles again. You have to check all the boxes to beat Georgia Southern. And that's one of the boxes you have to check. You have to have a good day from your quarterback.
Rallos gets the screen, and this time complete to the left. He'll get 6 yards, bringing up 3rd. And that's, the last drive they had, I think, 1 or 2 third downs. They were able to get down the field. Not quickly, but they didn't take too long. They didn't have to get through a lot of 3rd or 4th down attempts to get down.
Yeah, as his mic goes up again. She really needs to invest in a new microphone for
wireless.
headphones.
There's another throw to the out, this time left. His name is Millen.
Yeah. And Georgia Southern, oftentimes when they get beat, it's because they give up a lot of deep balls. So you see Sauce came out here today with the intent of not giving up the deep ball, but that has left them open to these nickel and dime passes that have just kind of killed them so far.
Now Fuller looks, he wants to throw deep. He's got a man in the seam from the middle, but it's knocked away. It could have been picked off potentially.
And see, that's more of what you would think would look for. You want to guard it all, obviously. You can't overcommit to one, and Georgia Southern did a nice job there at having their men spread out all across the field.
I like the attempt on 1st down too, especially since we've been running on 1st down a lot, We weren't expecting it. There's a handoff. No, it's a fake, but they're not faked out. Georgia Southern brings them down. There's a timeout called by the Eagles coach. Here now it's going to be 3rd and 14, so a long attempt here to get to the 1st down marker.
Should have handed that off. Now you're in trouble.
Backfield. Single safety for the Eagles back, though. Now Fuller runs out to the right. We've seen this before. Throws off to the goal line, and he's got it. No, he drops it. 4th and 14 now. He had his man, made a play on the ball, but couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, they wanted PI there. Good job by Georgia Southern to stand tall, stop the drive in its tracks.
Now with the punt return, he tried to fake out his man, but brought down sandwiched into it inside of the 30, 28-yard line. To start off this 2-minute drive, minute 38 left in the 1st half. And remember, the Eagles will get the ball at the start of the next half.
Uh-oh. This is the look.
Wildcat formation. Ambrose back there, man in motion. That's your stud. Number 12.
And there he goes.
Lots of real estate out here. Getting chased out, trying
what
to cut
in the
back.
world?
Just trying to make a play. Nay is the corner. Great athlete on the Falcons side of things. Another jet sweep. Number 12, he gets cut off this time. Tries to circle back in, but it'll be a no gain. Decker out on the play.
Yeah, good job by Decker there to look for the look to cut him off to the outside. That's how you do a good job containing this Wildcat.
Back into a shotgun. Buster Cherry under center. Big Hill trying to shake up the offense's concentration as they get the handoff, but he stopped. No gain again. Cowboys defense showing up here in the 2-minute drill.
Yeah, 3rd and 10 here. The Eagles have an interesting decision to make if they can't get this 1st down, though.
3rd and 10. Now over the 50-yard line. 40 seconds on the clock. It is running. Cherry looks to throw from the pocket. Out to the left. He's got a man out by the sideline. He'll step out of bounds at the 22. Mikey Wolf, sophomore out of the state of Florida.
That was the user there, as we saw. Couldn't get it done there. Just couldn't hang with him long enough.
Back to the Wildcat here on 1st and 10. 30 seconds left in the half. Straight up the middle. The clock's going to keep running here. That's 31 seconds, actually. Ambrose, 5 carries, 23 yards. Most of them out of this Wildcat formation. Back at it again as Villa comes in motion. Ambrose up the middle. This time he's met in the middle and gets 1 yard out of it. That's all he'll get. Solid defense so far here in the first half. Definitely not the game we'd see out of either of these two teams, to be honest with you. Much more likely to be 21-14 or 28-21 or something like that at this point. Cherry looks here from the 10-yard line. 20 seconds left in the half. He's going to run the option. He pitches, but he had to do behind him, and he couldn't keep the stride, and Ambrose is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. 2-yard loss.
So we're going to run this clock down, and I think Georgia Southern's actually might play for their 3 here.
Take the points. Timeout with 1 second remaining. The final timeout of the half. From the middle of the field. Just inside the 20 for about a 29-yard attempt. Trying to ice him. Inside 30. Taking any chances. Oklahoma State ready for a play. The kick is up, and it's 3 uprights. 3 points gives Georgia Southern a halftime lead, 10-7. Wales State. I mean, we've already stated this isn't the half we thought we'd see, but we got a good game here.
This is a great game. If you're the Cowboys, you can't really hang your head on it too much. You're down 3 at half, have to give them the ball back, but how many times have we seen Georgia Southern in these playoff games go into the half up 21, 28, 30-something?
Yeah.
The Eagles are being tested here as the #1 overall seed.
And they seem to be a little bit shell-shocked as well. You know, the defense from Oklahoma State has been on point. You know, a couple of plays here and there. Oklahoma State hasn't stifled the Georgia Southern offense so much, but they have made some plays and caused a punt.
Well, this would be huge if they could cause another punt here, or even hold them to 3. You just don't want to give up a touchdown here.
There's that classic inside run. And Oklahoma State was a little bit back to the pass at that time for an 8-yard rush to Ambrose. Cherry, no huddle here this time. This time he's going to look to throw. He's got a man deep. That's what they do. They set you up. They spike it. And that's another deep touchdown to McIntyre. Good number. The favorite phrase of the Georgia Southern coach is take what the defense gives you, and they've done it twice. Almost blocked that time. I think it's up to 3. 10-point lead here. And an already wary Georgia Southern defense is going to trot back out on the field here early in the second half.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. So a touchback to start the 25.
You see the passing yard comparison. Oklahoma State doing most of their damage on the ground.
Yeah, but now you're playing from behind, and this is where a lot of teams start to lose connect. They get in their head, they start airing the ball out, making risky throws, turning the ball over, and they end their game way earlier than it should end. That's a good throw, and he strikes right back with him.
And it's going to be a quick score for the Oklahoma State Cowboys here in the Sugar Bowl. Answer right back with their own.
I don't think it can be understated how good of a throw that is by that young man at quarterback. He threaded the needle in between 2 or 3 Georgia Southern players. And if that ball's a little off, it's probably a pick. And at this point of the game, that might have just iced it. But a huge throw there to keep the Pokes in it.
And you know, from our view, because the viewers are watching Sauce's stream, we're watching the Cowboys stream. I saw something he was doing. I'm going to tell you, that wasn't it. What he wanted was actually open, but that was too. And he saw it right away, and he made a great throw.
A lot of times on the on these 5 wide looks, the seam is often left open if you can get a step on him. So.
Well, Oklahoma State now back on the defense, and you got to guard for that run you've been doing so well at. But as well as they've been doing that, they give up that big play down deep, and they have that corner that can cover a man. Maybe they should let him. Big Hill moved out wide, and he's leaving his space, and that gives a big opening to Ambrose. He'll get the first down. This time we're playing too far back. We're ready for the pass, and that's how you play into the Eagles' hands. You start guessing, they start running.
Strong run keeps the drive going. First down now.
Cherry back, shotgun, 3 out to the right.
Pre-snap adjustments now for this defense.
Let the clock down a little bit. Direct snap to Ambrose. He'll try to make a move, but he'll get 4 yards on the carry.
That's a good tackle there. You look and see the Pokes trying to take a step back here. Maybe that's the coach saying we don't want to get bombed again with McIntyre, but this is allowing Ambrose to have a field day with open space every time he touches the ball.
That's what I started to say earlier. Like, now you're playing back, and now they're going to start running. But then as soon as you go back up the run, then you're susceptible to that pass. So it's really...
There he is.
Man, yeah.
There he is.
Just didn't get out there in time to get brought down after getting a big gain down the 20-yard line.
You see a lot of 4 verts out of that stack formation, and the DBs get confused. If the receiver lines up behind his man, they just, for some reason, the game does not know how to guard that. As Ambrose can get stuffed there. You can still do some damage here by holding them to 3, because I think the deep ball now, you can take that away from them with how close you are to the line of scrimmage. So I think the Pokes might actually prefer playing defense in the red zone at this point in the game.
Sherry now another option play, but can pitch it this time in stride. Wolf now has it, and out to the goal line. He'll cross it. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Kick. They shall go up 10 again.
How does that pitch get out? It's an incredible pitch by Cherry.
Yeah. Kick is good. That's your technical lead here. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Only 2 minutes of football have been played in the second half. Big kick.
That one bounces through the end zone, so they'll start at the 20.
We still have plenty of time here. No need to worry. There is need to worry if you can't score, though. So you've got to keep hitting them in the mouth.
Do we want to go quick? Do we want to take our time? I mean, we just got to score. Whatever we got to do.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense gives you.
And
that was a dangerous pitch.
Yeah, he almost had his own run.
2 dangerous pitches back to back. How many times do we see the users in this league try to make a pitch on an option and it ends in a fumble?
Yeah, I like to run it every once in a while, but I'm very careful about it when I do. Bullard gets the snap, looks to throw out to the left. There it is, out to the flats, and he's got a short man. Boy, this is just his go-to receiver. Lemons is out there, 83, sophomore at his home state is Oklahoma. He's already got 100 yards with the touchdown now and 5 catches.
Yeah, that zig route's been a killer all night.
He's on the right. Your transfer, number 1, he hasn't touched the ball yet today. And there's another direct snap, this time by the Cowboys, though. And they'll get a first down on their first try at it. Valos again.
Georgia Southern got to stiffen up here. You got to realize you're playing with the lead, with control of the game right now. A stop here, and you pretty much can ice it from there. So you've got to be, I'm not saying go all out, but try to be more aggressive here. Send them more pressure.
Remember, the defense for Georgia Southern has been on the field practically the entire game. There's a pitch, nice sweep. There's your transfer student. He'll get 6 carries on the jet sweep here. Let's see, 6 carries, 6 yards.
It's getting late. It's getting late. And it's getting late in Minnesota. The Wolves have a 3-point lead with like 4 minutes to go.
A lot of different plays we don't normally see come out of this offense. They've really gone back to the board and thrown, what's going to work. They have so much talent now on this team
Second down after that run on the
that it's almost hard to get everybody involved. Now Fuller in shotgun again. He got a solo out to the left. 3 guys out to his right, including the tight end. There is the RPO out to the right. That's enough for Clemens to get the first down.
Yeah, I think that you kind of have to earn your right to run RPOs. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but when Georgia Southern came out of the gate, they're putting pressure. They're playing aggressive. You're not going to have those time. But now that you've kind of made them respect you down the field with how well you've been throwing the ball, you have the space to run some of those RPOs.
Now starting over at 1st and 10 as the clock runs down past a minute here left in the 3rd quarter. Georgia Southern moving their defense around and tiny bit. We're going to man in motion for Oklahoma State. Now Fuller looks from the pocket to throw out to the right, out to the sideline. Touch the sideline before the football.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of close. Hard to tell from that vantage. I don't know. It might be a catch. I don't know. It's tough to tell. I don't know. You didn't go after the last one. We were more sure about that. Man, that heel looks like it's in the green, but what do I know? It's a video game. Wildcat here for the Cowboys now. Jet sweep for their number 0.
Yeah, lucky that he got pulled over the line of scrimmage instead of pushed backwards. But 3rd and 10 here. You want to gain at least 5 or 6 so you can kick a field goal and make it a 1-score game again, if you choose to do so. Yeah, or feel comfortable going for it.
Empty backfield. Threats of screens, threats of bombs, all of it out there now for the Cowboys offense to try to use. Georgia Southern defense set up here.
He'll drop back here on 3rd down.
Fuller from the pocket has a little time, but not that much. He'll get brought down. That's 4th and 21. Not only are you not going to go for it, you're not going to get field goal.
Worst case scenario there. He had a couple guys, had that zig once again, but Cheek's able to get into the quarterback's face.
Wisnowski here to punt it away for the Cowboys. That's the end of the 3rd quarter, so we'll turn it around and do overtime.
Is it a go for it time? It might be.
I mean, I'd hate to have to. I'll tell you that much. But if you got that play and you think he ain't going to see it coming, I guess you go for it.
Well, he's going for it.
We were about to punt it, but then the 4th quarter came up and they changed their mind.
I think they're realizing they're running out of time here. If we're not going to win this game if you keep punting the football, is what they're probably thinking. But this is not the
timeout.
They forced the Eagles to use a timeout there. Maybe caught them in something they didn't like.
That could come into play later. Top interceptions thrown this year. Don't look at that list.
So down by multiple possessions here. The offense.
All right, Fuller. He's in the shotgun with a man in the backfield. Tight end to his right. Man in motion. Tried a jet sweep, but they faked it. Fuller out to the right. Tries to throw deep. Does he have his man? He doesn't. It's intercepted in the end zone. It's a front. It's a throwing punt, but they got to bring him down. Brought to the 35.
Yeah, so the arm punt puts him at the 35. And now is the time for Georgia Southern to say, okay, we got a chew clock, conservative. We're running this ball, and we're going to get out of here.
Sure, Oklahoma's got to get some man around that football.
A strip fumble would be huge here, but they got the speed to break around the outside.
Long run to 4 yards.
Man, just complimentary football, really, in a nutshell. They get this football back thanks to their own defense, creating that turnover.
2nd and 6 here from their own 38.
It's all but over. Now the offense is just thinking about running.
You put the chew, you're just on the chew clock here. You just got to get a first down.
The game makes it 2nd and medium.
Ambrose to the right. Lots of white jerseys. Gets through them. He'll get a few yards. He'll get through 43. It'll be on 3rd and 1. 58 yards on the 13 attempts tonight. 14's been his longest.
Yeah, that's frustration for the Oklahoma State defense. Seems like you have guys in the backfield to pull him down, and they just can't get to him.
Yeah, they underrun the play, they overrun the play, and then now they're chasing. Undefeated Georgia Southern was coming to this game. Did beat Oklahoma State earlier in the season. Oklahoma State putting up a real solid fight here. Another Wildcat formation. They get the man in the backfield. That's going to be 4th and 1. No gain from the 44. Got to assume they're going to go for it. But
I would think they would go for it, but I don't. I think if I was Georgia Southern, I'd punt. You let him back in this game if you don't get this yard.
Yeah, punting, you still in control. Back in the shotgun, in the Wildcat as well. And he does find a hole. He'll get over the first down marker. So he said just now. 1st and 10 from their own 47, up across midfield.
Yet another year of Georgia Southern kind of just imposing their will, using the talent on the field to get this playoff victory. Because I feel like the calls have been right on the Oklahoma side. It's just been...
You got to make the play. Once you got to make the call, then you got to make the play. I totally understand how tough that can be sometimes. There's a jet sweep, and Oklahoma seemed to be ready for it. Mason cut inside, but he's going to find a little bit of space. He'll get out there in the 8-yard carry. Timeout call by Coach Kev on the Oklahoma State sideline.
Timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. 2nd down after that run on the previous play.
Western Cherry empty backfield here on 2nd and 2. Puts Villa in motion. Back out. Big man rush comes, and Cherry looks out the right. He finds the target, and it gets knocked away.
You'd have loved to intercepted that if you're Oklahoma State. I don't know why the pass is being utilized at this point of the game, but
deep ones such as that into, there was 2 blues and 2 white jerseys. Pretty 50-50 ball, if you ask me.
The incompletion sets up a 3rd down and 2.
3rd and 2, man in motion. We see a jet sweep again. No, he's back in motion, back the other way. Back the other way, and then it's an inside job here. Inside run for the 1st.
yeah, Ambrose is taking a beating today.
Yeah, I think he's actually in. I don't know the rosters anymore, but is he just playing to save for the next round? Whoever's the starter, isn't it another guy that was the starter?
Yes.
Thank you. I knew it. I picked up on that about 2 drives ago, and I just had to say it.
And that's the 2-minute warning.
Wow, we're resting.
The clock getting closer now to an impressive victory.
2-minute warning here in the game. 10-point lead. Georgia Southern has the lead and the football into Cowboys territory.
Let's see how the defense adjusts.
Here's the man in motion, and the jet sweep comes. And yep, timeout. 2nd and 5. I mean, you got to strip the ball. You got to, maybe he throws it. You got to pick it off. Because all the other strategies are hope. Like, you hope you pick the right play against the offense he's running. I think Cherry's about the only real starter out there.
Running back grabs it on the
Oh,
swing.
big move.
Bulldozing his way through those tackles.
That might do it.
Goes out of bounds, but the move to sticks
Good luck.
wasn't enough for a first down.
These are next year's starters.
He's outplayed all year, and it's been
Getting
great
through
to
the
see him in
quarterfinal
person
game for
today,
the Eagles.
making good decisions, accurate throws, and keeping this offense moving.
And the Eagles have first and 10 here.
From the 24.
And the back now goes in motion.
Minute 48 left on the clock. There's the jet sweep out to the left. Villa again gets enough for the first and enough real estate to get over the goal line for another touchdown. Extending the Georgia Southern lead now. 30 to 14.
Yeah, he's done everything that's been asked of him and more.
Well, we had a real close game most of the way.
Right now, the defense, you can see him down there. He's throwing his headset. He's frustrated.
And Oklahoma State will flag.
Wrinkles to try to slow this guy down.
Yes, sir. I mean, you got to score. You got to score quick, and then hopefully get the ball right back. And
Kickoff team's on the field. See if
we got to
they
do
give
it
the
again.
returner a chance to bring this one back. Long kickoff.
Fair
No
catch.
chance.
Cowboys take over here. Minute 42. I mean, just got to do what you got to do. We are past the spread now.
Oh, no.
Georgia Southern has covered. Fuller now looking, dropping back.
Trying to extend the play.
Playing for the spread. Fuller scrambling out to the sideline. Stops the clock as he's taken out of bounds. No flag for targeting.
Love the aggressive mindset from the play caller here on first down. Take a
Flag
shot
for hitting out of
downfield.
bounds.
The
Took
thing
a step
is,
into the white and then
covered.
boom.
Nobody's open. He gets flushed out of the pocket, decides to run towards the boundary and gets out of bounds, and a good gain and a first down.
Refs keeping it in the pockets, letting the boys play. First and 10 now from their own 38. As they got to get down the field as fast and as effectively as they can. Empty backfield. A good indication of that attempt. As Fuller now looks from the pocket, throws short to his halfback. He gets brought down inbounds. The clock will continue to run. But he's coming back. Clemens last to line up as now Fuller claps, tries to get that ball hiked as fast as he can. Looks, throws left, looking deep, man on man, and it's up. And it's knocked, but we have a flag. And it's pass interference against the defense. Georgia Southern with the contact.
It's got to be the toughest job out there right now in college.
It's going to bring the ball to the 38, 15-yard penalty here in college.
Talented receivers. It's hard enough to be able to stay up with them and try to make a play on the ball, and often you end up bumping
State's
them
left
downfield,
speechless.
and you get a call like this.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. Surprised it didn't get tipped and caught.
That would have been coming back either way. But Oklahoma State now with another shot here from the 38.
There's a first and 10 play.
Oklahoma State trying to find some magic here late.
Setting up the throw.
From the pocket, Fuller now throws left again. And it's overthrown out of bounds. We should try again.
Well, they don't connect here, but this is what you have to do. It's late in the game. You need points. You're behind. You got to take some shots. I'd go right back.
Most of the passing attempts have come in this fourth quarter. Both
You
teams.
can make a play for you.
Except for the couple that Georgia Southern threw out just to get the scores in.
Offense lines up for a second down play off the incompletion. And the quarterback drops
Fuller
back.
from the pocket.
Open man.
Scrambles out to the right and throws on the run towards the sideline in the end zone. Who's there to make the catch?
Now it's third down.
You know, I like the quarterback's patience here, and instead of trying to force the issue,
State fans starting to file out.
coverage, he just decides to just basically throw it away and live for the next
It's the
down.
Georgia Southern side. Louder and louder. Fuller, any last bit of magic left in that right arm of his. Now is the time. Another scramble out to the right, waiting for his man to get open. Sees it at the sideline, and it's picked off. Undercut by the safety, Juan Montana.
What an impressive interception there.
Yeah,
Sit in the coverage because they need points at this point in the game to try to advance. in the
that's
next round of the playoffs.
all but going to seal it here for the Eagles. They look to move on past Oklahoma State and into the next round where they're going to face off against either Penn State or Washington State. Oh, wait. This side of they're going to play Florida or
Penn State or Washington State?
Oh, it was for the first time. So you Caleb, or Penn State?
Yeah, it will be.
How about that? GG's to Kevin in Oklahoma State. Good game. I'm sure y'all got questions, yeah?
I mean, it was. Tell us about the start of the game when we were kind of in awe of how well both of you guys were playing defense.
Yeah, we just we put in our backups for this. Felt like they still gave us a chance to win while resting our starters for possibly next week. So it just took a little bit to get the guys going, but ultimately we came out and in the second half and just got the win. So shout out to the backups and everybody who came out. A lot of seniors back there haven't played all year, got to play tonight. So that's just what 4 stars, 24 of them every year will get you. Got good depth.
Aggressive thinkers here, George. So things a little different. Caleb, what do you got for him?
Yeah. You talked about it, benching some of your starters for this game. What do you think your chances are in the next round, and who would you like to see?
I like my chances regardless of who I'm up against. It doesn't really matter. I think both teams they do good things in different areas and pose challenges. So I'm excited to face either or.
What's more likely to happen? Shedeur Sanders gets drafted in the 4th round tomorrow, or Washington State beats Penn State?
Hey, listen, man, the Shedeur slander. Hey, like Big Slime Donnie said, some of these teams, they need to pick him. It's crazy he's dropped this far. He's a good kid. Dion, great father. LeVar Ball, great father as well. Shout out to all the great fathers out there. Some people look down on that in the media, but we need good fathers out there. I heard some LeBron slander. We won't take that from the GOAT. He is the GOAT.
He actually
I'm not going to take
left
that.
the floor with 10 seconds left in the game, not happy.
He wasn't dissing Michael Jordan.
Wow, they lost?
As the Wolves have won game number 3.
Wow, that's okay.
Speaking of good fathers, my son is a brown belt in karate, so air five.
Congratulations. But
congratulations.
Not serious though.
Give me Brink's kid over Bronny James and Shedeur Sanders.
My kid's gonna get drafted higher than Shedeur Sanders.
Hey, Shedeur ain't prime time. He think he's prime time. He's not. But I think him falling that low is kind of outrageous. But hey, an all-time great at Colorado, got his number retired. He's not quite Travis Hunter, but still got it retired.
And don't forget, Kevin, you fought a real great game out there. I know you kind of fell out at the end there, but man, what an effort! And just talk about kind of how you prepare for this game and how you were getting through that first half, at least.
I knew the one was going to be tough. I thought our pass defense was our best part of this team. But clearly, it's not. All the corners are cut. We just gonna, yeah.
What's up with that transfer? We saw him. You had 2 receivers in the top 5 this year as far as production goes, scores, yards. We didn't really see much of them in this game, at least not that transfer you got from the Roadrunners.
He was mainly double covered most game I saw.
Interesting. Caleb?
Yeah, season comes to an end here today. What's the outlook going into next season as Georgia Southern has defeated you guys 2 years in a row?
Focus on our D-line, try getting some more pressure in, the quarterback, more one-stopping, boost up that O-line, help protect our new QB next year. Because Matt Foley's a senior, so that was his last game.
That's right, yeah.
Last pass was an interception. How about that?
How many quarterbacks' careers have you ended that way, Sauce?
I don't really keep count. This is the first time I've really thought about it. Respectfully.
All right. Anything else there, fellas? Any last words here tonight?
Hey, appreciate you guys for doing the broadcast, and shout out to all the fans tuning in. We're gonna have a great semifinal. I think we still got some great round 2 matches. I mean, Cal and Florida's playing.
Rematch. We got
Yeah.
the ACC rematch. Army and West Virginia. We got Florida facing off against Cal. It's teams that have never faced off against each other. Penn State and Washington State going to go back at it. We anticipate a really hard-fought game.
I don't think they have played. I think Florida and Cal have played. I don't think Washington State and Penn State have played, have they?
I thought they played once. Tell me.
I don't know. Hell State's in here.
We played what? I'm sorry.
Penn State.
I'm rage baiting LeBron fans.
Oh, okay.
What's the question?
Have you played Penn State before?
I have not.
What's your thoughts on that? Let's get a little preview.
I thought we did a good job against Tulane, working the offense. Plan to do the same thing against Penn State.
Thanks everybody for tuning
Hey.
in. Thanks to our competitors. Congratulations to Sauce on his
Big slime.
round 2 win. Thanks to Hail State for joining me in the booth. We'll
Yeah.
see you all next time. We'll have a bunch of games tomorrow, I assume, at least 1 or 2 of them. So yeah, God bless. Go Rebels. We'll see you soon.
Wow.
What?
Nittany lying, Shadur's crying, Sauce is trying,
Lakers
Cougars in
in 5.
5.